A PUR. This may be the coolest truck that no one's ever talking about. I'm Joe Gocher, Alliance Auto Care, nothing but G's. I'm here to show you a really unique and rare and special example of something we have in our inventory, and it is for sale. For starters, this is a 2009 Mercedes G280 Professional. That's right, it's a Professional. It's a 2009, but you notice it looks a little different and there's a lot going on visually that I'm gonna walk you through. For starters, it's a diesel. It's a really popular diesel. It makes all the power. It's reliable and it's serviceable. The other thing is, being as it's a Professional, it's a legit 461 G Wagon, not a 463, not a 460, but a 461. For those of you not familiar with that, the 461 designation is the first digits of the VIN, and that dictates that it's either sold to municipalities, military, NATO, other government organizations, i.e. not for civilian populous use. That's one of the things that makes this truck so special. We have one here in the United States ready to go, and it is awesome to drive. Starting up front, it does have a modified front bumper. It does have the winch carrier up front with a 12,000 pound Warn winch with a fresh cable. But one of the key things you're gonna notice is the brush guards on this. This is not a brush guard. This is a full-on impact bumper. It can take a hit. You can pull anything out of the weeds with it. It's a super stout unit. The headlights are full LED Nolden headlights. These things are bright, they look right, and they work really, really well. One of the key things up front that designates a 461 or 460 from a 463, just so you know, is the way that the headlight surrounds on this are placed. Notice it is triangulated here. The other 463s are squared off with a plastic finisher. It pays homage. It's meant to be industrial. It's meant to be used. It's meant to be worker, so you don't need all that extra floof. And that's what makes this thing so cool. Fender flares and bumper ends, everything's non-painted on this because, again, it's meant to take a beating. The 461s use the old style bumpers that are actually bolt-on, and if you need to, you can just unbolt them and put new ones on. Up front, you've got the grills for the lights, front and top, and you've got the 5-bar diamond plate, just like that other truck we had in our video. This stuff is super stout. This stuff holds up so well. There's also been a modification to the hood, and then it's double laminated, so you can put a lot of weight up here. You can strap packs to it. You can stand on it up to a certain weight. I don't know what that limit is, but this is not like your typical G Wagon hood. It's very stout. Moving around the side, you have the full snorkel setup here. This thing is cool. It sounds cool. You get a lot of turbo noise and whooshes, all the fun stuff there. And you have these running boards. They're not necessarily rock bashers, but they are running boards. They're highly functional. I've lived with them for the past week. I like them a lot. Really nice. Moving around the rest of the truck, you're going to notice a couple things that's different. We have the Braid beadlock wheels. Now these wheels are not real common in the US, and I don't know why. However, they're extremely lightweight. These are really common in Dakar and overseas for their rally raids because they don't require an external ring. And the way these work is these little bolts here physically will bolt the tire to the rim. I haven't had one of these apart yet. I fully intend to dissect one of these and understand them fully. But I just did a quick Google search and found how they work, and I'm really impressed with how light they are and how functional they are. So really, really cool wheels. Not a lot of rotating mass on these. The other thing that's interesting is the suspension on this truck is a combination of Invictus 4x4 project and Eibach springs. Having done a road trip in this truck, I will say that the ride quality is amazing. It's arguably one of the best riding G-Wagons I've been in quite a while. It's dialed in, it's very soft, it's supple. You can take it over curbs. Yes, you can probably catch air in it. I'm not going to, but I've been very impressed with its ride quality. So that's first and foremost. We're on the back side. It's a little different. Obviously, we've got the spare tire carrier. Currently, I've got a jack saver strapped to the top of it there. But you'll notice that you won't see this on a lot of G-Wagons. Barn doors. Did I mention this is for sale? Look at that. Not only do you have barn doors, you've got the Professional load space floor, and you've got jump seats. So if you've got kids or you've got rowdy friends that you get stuck picking up late at night from parties, it's not a bad place to be. And you got seat belts. So like I always say, safety third. Anyway, pretty cool. The back seats are also captain's chairs. The other cool thing about this, not sure if you can see this, is these are removable with these cool little wing nuts, so you don't need tools. If you deem it necessary, you can just undo these. There's two up front also, and you can pull out each chair. So that part is pretty darn cool. But highly functional. This is your utilitarian truck owner's wet dream. Works very well. Other things you're going to notice. Little Easter eggs here and there. We've got onboard air. We've got one spot there. We've got one of these up front too. We've got a hidden compressor in this truck that allows you to air up and air down as needed. Again, highly functional. We've run this side. We have the ARB Touring awning up on the side of the rack, and this thing does come with the full vestibule, so you can have this thing completely splayed out, put the vestibule, and have a 100% enclosed area. The other thing is this has a legit professional series roof rack. It's not aftermarket, it's OEM, and it is incredibly stout. To give you an idea of what it's like, it doesn't flex, it doesn't move, it's stable, it works really good. Also, this aluminum box stays with it. Highly functional. I've had a lot of crap in there, and it goes down the road very nice. It doesn't do anything weird. You don't get a bunch of wind noise. It's quiet. Man, this is functional. The other cool thing I found out about this is, even though this is the factory Mercedes roof rack, all the Gobi attachments will work with this. Gobi is a local stateside supplier. They're about an hour south of us. But all of these sidebars with all these little attachments, you can just call up Gobi, and they have all the little fittings that'll work with these. Fun little fact, now you know. Evictus suspension, stuff is really good. Hard to get in the States. We're working on becoming a supplier for it, but the ride quality of this is arguably one of the best riding G Wagons I've been in quite a while. Three things you're gonna notice the first thing when you open the doors on this truck. A, it does not look like your girlfriend's G Wagon. B, you got Scheel-Mann seats. These are the holy grail. These are the most comfortable seats ever. I did a long road trip in this truck, and I was supremely comfortable. And C, cup holders. Everyone always says, you got no cup holders. This truck has them. Anyway, aside from that, it is very different up front, mainly because, again, it's a 461. Now, it's a 2009 model, so it is modernized, but this is basically the military version of this truck as it would be sold in 2009. It's meant to be a work truck, utilitarian, and get the job done. Okay, so like I said, the dash looks a little different than your girlfriend's G Wagon. It's very utilitarian, it's very purpose-built. First things first, looking up, there's no headliner. This is the factory way it came from Mercedes as it would sell it to other municipalities, military, etc. It's got some pockets up here, great for putting your cell phone, gloves, whatever you want. It's got the GMRS radio that's connected to your ICOM down here, so you can radio just about anybody across the planet. It is synced up via satellite and all that fun stuff, so that works kind of slick. It's got the usual stuff, the ball mounts, the ram mounts up here is for your phone. You can put a tear trip or whatever you want here as well if you were to turn this into a rally truck. By the way, this will make the most perfect rally truck ever. So aside from that, you've got your typical stuff, your stereo. The ashtray that was here has been pulled out, and there's a Switch Pros panel mounted here, and the box is mounted elsewhere, but that's all CAN bus controlled. You've got your usual AC recirculation. You've got an underhood heater, so in other words, you can program it if you're in the Arctic or someplace really cold, you can program it to kick on and circulate coolant and get the truck warmed up prior to getting in it. Kind of cool. Now, with this is a dual battery truck, meaning it is a 24-volt truck. And people ask, how do you plug your accessories in? Easy. So you do have your 24-volt connector there, but you also have 12-volt connectors. And they did a really good job from the factory dissecting the 12-volt from the 24-volt. So it is fully functional where we're at today. You can use all your normal civilian stuff to it. There's USB ports, there's connectors, there's all this stuff back here as well. So it is incredibly functional. The other thing that's different about this from your typical G Wagon is your HVAC controls and your lighting controls. So you have your fan speed here, all the usual stuff, but your headlights are controlled by this. This is the old school military style headlight controller. And you'll see this on the Wolves, the 460s. Anyway, just know that it's here, not over here. The other thing is, it is a 5-speed automatic. You've got your shifter here. It just looks a little odd because it's out of place, but it's a very functional, it just works. So there's no other word for it. But your diff lock controls, I'll fire it up so you can see it. But your diff lock controls are just that. They're simple push button. And they work just like your other diff locks. It's just boom, 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 and push off. Same goes for high and low. You can high and low your T-case with this. And you've also got seat heaters and your auxiliary heater there. So again, it's a very functional place to be. It's meant to be waterproof, watertight. So if you spill your coffee or you get it wet, not the end of the world. So other things you do on this side of the wheel, you do have your headlight adjustment. Basically, this is a knob that changes the height of your headlights. So if you're going down the road and no one's in front of you, you can aim them up a little bit to get a little further down the line. So that part's kind of cool. It's got a couple other accessories and goodies, but one of the things I want to say is you've got this big armrest here, and it's up high. What this means is a lot of the computers and electronics are underneath this armrest. So you open it up, you've got a spot for sunglasses, keys, all that usual stuff. But when it comes to servicing this truck, that's where it gets interesting. Your service center, whoever does decide to service this, will need to pull this off. There's 4 screws under here, and you pull it off, and you have access to fuses, the diagnostic port, all the usual stuff you need to service it, but it's all right here. You don't have to hunt everywhere for the truck. It's localized. It's easy. So that's one of the cool things about this. Aside from that, the doors are crank window. So you never have to worry about a motor failing. It's kind of cool. For being a very simple and plain door, it is a very comfortable place to be. My seating position is very natural. My arm can go up here. My arm can go down here. There's nothing strained about it. I did easily 8 hours behind the wheel, and I was not exhausted. It was a very easy driver. It went down the road straight and true. I went about 80 miles an hour the whole way and averaged about 15, 16 miles per gallon, fully loaded with a lot of other goodies. So it did very, very well. I was impressed. Let's look at the back seat. Okay, just like all the other professionals, the doors will open to 90 degrees. It does have the metal panels here, and we do have cup holders back here as well, because, you know, kids in the back seat, they got to put their stuff. Now, the other cool thing is, you know, if you decide to start your own militia or something cool like that, you've also got your 24-volt plug in here for your Singar's radio or whatever else you want to put back there. So they've thought of everything. But again, these are captain's chairs. They're super comfortable. If you don't need it, or you're building the ultimate overland rig or rally rig, pull them out. I mean, they're not super heavy, but no need to have them. So makes life easy, fully functional rig, and you have the wood floor back here with the full tie-down capability. So this stuff is pretty cool, and these are meant to be replaced if you damage one. So easy. The ultimate utilitarian truck. Let's go for a drive. Here we are driving this thing. It is a great driving vehicle. We're cruising up. We're going to go just up to another site where it's a little more picturesque, but it's an easy driving truck. It's about 100 degrees out right now. We've got the air on. It's simple, no frills. It works very, very well. One of the things I will say that is one of those unspoken things, when you're driving a truck, like this, it looks amazing inside and outside. Everyone knows unequivocally this is a G Wagon. Versus you drive something like that, woof, come on, we can do better. It looks like it's a big fat lady wearing a dress. Anyway, this is like a chiseled, muscular bodybuilder running down the road. This thing looks amazing. Anyway, goes down the road great. It's easy. It doesn't require a lot of effort, thought. You can focus on whatever task you have at hand. You've got a commanding view of the road as usual. And I've said this before, these seats are amazing. These are the Scheel-Manns. This is actually the slightly larger size. Gives you a little bit more room to move around versus the smaller Scheel-Manns. And I was actually shocked. I'm not a big guy, I'm kind of a medium guy, but these seats are very nice to live with. I think road trip wise, going to one size up on the Scheel-Manns is definitely the way to go, because it doesn't pinch you, it doesn't, you don't have any hot spots, so it's really nice. The other thing, it's got an interesting armrest on door. It has a very simple bar here. I find myself just driving like this most of the time. Otherwise, you've got this. Tons of room though. I don't feel cramped. And because it's a 461, you don't have this big door card here like you do on the 463s. So it's a nice place to be. Suspension-wise, it's very soft. It's very supple. It takes up all the bumps. It does firm up immediately when you go off-road and start to hit some of the sharp edge bumps. The internal valving kicks in right away, and it really dials up the ride. But going down the road, it's very soft. It rolls over everything, and you don't know that you're having anything. Aside from that, you've got all the usual gauges. You've got your trusty, dusty, golly, what is that thing? Compass. You've got your altimeter. You've got all your usual stuff over here. But you don't need it. It's just, you go. It's very utilitarian, very purpose-built. All right, to recap what we got, guys. 2009 Mercedes G280 Professional, a PUR. Up front, full complement of LED lights. Everything's powered via switch pros. Stout front bumper. That's a bull bar. That thing is meant to push some weight around. Beadlock tires, BFG all-terrain KO2s, Invictus suspension, Eibach springs, running boards, professional series mirrors, professional series rack, ARB awning with the full vestibule, barn doors in the back of this truck, ladder system. This thing is set up and stacked all the way through. You've got anything you possibly want, and we'll throw in this German shovel to go with your truck. Back doors, 90-degree. Everything's metal, everything's steel, everything's meant to take a beating. The back seats come out with wing nuts. It's easy. This thing is meant to be a rally truck. Up front in the dash, it's all business. No one's messing around here. If you've got something you need to hook up as an accessory, you need to get some work done to get the job done, this is it. If you're gonna run a rally race, if you run a farm, if you've got property, if you just want the ultimate utilitarian vehicle, this is the truck to get. This is the one that's gonna get you to and from. And if you're gonna be a global traveler and look for something that's gonna get you all the way across the continent from one end to the other and onto the next continent, this is it. This truck is meant to get you there and get you back home. Let's get this in your driveway, folks. I'm Joe Gocher, Alliance Auto Care. To be on my website. The thing is up for sale, 125 grand. Let's get it in your driveway.